Hello there. Thank you for being here. Welcome back to another episode of Janine Between the Lines, Literature and Lifestyle for Leisure, where I talk about books that I'm loving, life that I'm living, and everything caught up in between. Why is this woman across from me right now trying to hold back laughter, dude?
You told me to not say anything, and it was the act of having to, I didn't even breathe almost. And then I started laughing.
If you guys saw her, she was covering her whole entire face with her hands so she didn't have to look at my face that whole time. Despicable. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back. It's been a long time coming. It's been what? At least it feels like 6 months or so since our last episode.
Oh my God, yeah, May.
Has it been?
The last time since I was on, so. And it's December.
You know, they call it a centurion year, you know?
It was like over half a year ago.
A lot has changed since then. Yeah. We got different hair here.
I know.
Different minds.
Let's go. Engaged, married.
Oh, shiz. All the things.
It's been a long time.
Hi, everyone. It's me again, and Corrine is back with me for another fun reading roundup and all the things. We've been primed. We just came from book club again, and our current bevy at the moment is we have the Whole Foods organic hot chocolate mixed with a splash of salted caramel Baileys.
With a straw. And it's good. It is storming outside.
It's storming. It's moody.
This is the best.
It is the best. It's the best. We have a pretty loaded roundup for you guys. And I wanted to just thank you all for sticking around and listening. If you want to hear about all the books that we've been reading, we decided we're going to do a little month-by-month recap and give you guys just the down low on the best and worst books that we've freaking read. Because 2023, dude, it's almost over. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
I met her just last year, dude. We're about to have known each other for like 2 years.
Oh my God. An anniversary. And now you've read a lot of books. I remember last time, the first time I was on this pod, we were talking about how much we read for 2022. And I think I had read like 71 or 73 books. Mm-hmm. I don't remember how many you read. But you didn't read a lot.
No, I didn't. I don't even think I was keeping count, but I think it was just about 30 something.
And you have far surpassed that.
I know. I set my goal for so low because I just wasn't sure. Mm-hmm. And I've been thinking that this next year, I think I don't even know if I'm going to set a goal.
Yeah, I think I like setting a goal because I like surpassing it.
Yeah.
And I like how it keeps track. Mm-hmm. On Goodreads. I set it like for 40 for 2023. I don't think I'm going to increase it much.
Yeah. I think 30 to 50 is going to be my sweet spot. Yeah.
It's not a bad place to be.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And it's about books that are being hyped up.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is it that's kept you from reading Fourth Wing so far? We're starting strong.
Question.
Let's just be real.
Okay, number one, the hype. Mm-hmm. The hype. And I know the second book's out. It's a lot of different things. I think one of them is the hype. I know that's a thing for you. Mm-hmm. The other thing is I don't like to read a series that's not completed. We talked about that before.
Yes, I get that from you.
Yeah, because it's like you never know if it's going to be like Name of the Wind or the Game of Thrones series. What if she doesn't finish the books?
What if?
I don't want to I want the canon ending. I don't want to make stuff up. I need closure. And then there's a lot of controversy surrounding her also.
I saw
on
that.
Bookstagram.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's kind of got me feeling conflicted.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you on all of those accounts.
Yes.
Mostly, it's so funny because one of our very close work friends, a few of them actually are like, oh my God, you haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
And one of the main things that kind of turned me away from it is there are a handful of bookstagrammers and YouTubers that I trust when it comes to their recommendations, because like watching them was the reason I even got on A Court of Thorns and Roses, and even what is the Throne of Glass, my Winter's Promise series. And those ladies were like, what, I don't understand why it was so hyped. Like, it was like, if you've never read Romantasy before, then maybe you would like it. But, and the way that they described like the romance, it was like spicy, but it's like it was a little juvenile. And these people that were reading it were our age. Which is interesting to say because the people who are at work are like 20, 30 years older than us. Yeah. And then they're saying they loved it too. So it makes me really, really wonder.
I don't know how, eventually I'll probably read it. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I've heard that it's like very similar to Throne of Glass, like some plot points.
They take a lot from those ones.
And I feel like eventually all of those books in the romantasy genre kind of mix up and have similar elements, but I don't know. I'm not ready to read it.
I'm not either. And I think both of us have so many more books in our TBRs that are like keeping us from just like jumping on it right now. If I had nothing to read, or if I ever look at my TBR and I'm like, I don't really want to read any of these, maybe I'll pick it up.
You're going to hate, like, you're going to be dragging your feet the whole time you read it. I can tell.
I know. And then like, if that's the case, like, why would I even pick it up? You know what I mean?
Like, if you were to do it, it would be done begrudgingly.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I see. I don't really want that, man.
You can't be blamed.
I can't. Everyone has their taste. And I know maybe that sounds hypocritical, because I do. I love fantasy. I love romance. The overlap genre is just like everything I love in one. But I think I have, like, I'm not in that mode right now. Just like when I got Priory, you haven't been in that mode yet too. You have to really be in a mode for like a big world building fantasy. And it like takes a lot of mental energy as like readers to invest in that.
Yeah, I'm a mood reader. I have to be ready. Otherwise, it's not going to reach its full potential.
At
all. It's going to be a disservice to myself. And
and then we won't be able to have like a fair consideration of it.
Correct.
I agree. I knew it. We're both in the same wavelength as always.
Oh, you know.
Oh my God. How's about we just start kind of getting into it? Let's go month by month.
Go.
And we're going to rotate. So do you want to, we're starting in June, correct?
Yes.
So in June, you will rotate. You give me your favorite. I'll give you my favorite. And then we'll go back to you. You'll tell us the worst of that month, and then I'll do mine.
All right.
Does that sound good?
So you want me to say my favorite from June?
Yeah, favorite from June.
Okay. So I read 8 books. This was a month where I did not, like, looking at what I read, I don't have like a, wow, I loved that. But if I had to pick a favorite, it would be Imogen, obviously, by Becky Albertalli. It's a YA novel about a girl in her senior year of high school who will be entering college next year, starting to have this realization that she's not just an ally of the LGBTQIA plus group, that she's actually bisexual. So it was a good, like, self-discovery book. I liked it. So I would say that's my favorite.
Okay. My favorite of June was King of Wrath by Anna Huang. Dude.
Of course.
I finished this one in one day.
I don't know if I've ever done that. I might have done it. Nothing comes to mind.
I did it because I got it as an ebook like one morning. I think it was like a work week for me. So I got it on a Wednesday morning. We must have only had like one patient overnight or something, because I just flew through the whole thing. Yeah. It's smut. But the author is Vietnamese, I believe. So she writes from the perspective of Eastern Asian descents.
When you say that you finish it in one day, are you talking like a 24-hour period, or like you started it in the morning and then you finished it maybe like in the middle of the night? Or is it like 24 hours, like from the morning of one day into the morning of the next?
That's
what I wonder when people say like I finished it in a day.
I think I say the morning of one day to the morning of the next.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at too.
Yeah, I definitely, it was addicting. Read all of their series so far.
I hear a lot about those books.
Yeah.
So I'll have to check them out at some point, but I have to be in the mood for that.
Yeah. Her Twisted series apparently got a lot of hype as well, but I've also
Overhype, I've heard.
Yes, but this one, that one's pretty darn good. That got me out of a reading slump, and it was pretty darn awesome.
Is it time for me to say my least favorite?
Yeah. Let's just
the Goodreads Award winner of the romance genre, Happy Place by Emily Henry, was my least favorite of that month. I had a lot of gripes with it. A lot. And I think we talked about it on the pod at some point. Or maybe I'm mistaken.
We might have been in the middle of reading it when we recorded the last one.
I think we've just like talked about... Or I've mentioned not liking Emily Henry books.
Hot take.
Maybe prior to that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't go into it wanting to hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to give it a chance. It's just one of my least favorite tropes is miscommunication.
Oh, yeah.
For no reason at all. And I just felt, I know it's a book, but a lot of it was just really unrealistic for a book that's supposed to be like contemporary romance.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really like any of the characters. There was nothing that really was like redemption worthy for me in that book.
Yeah, nothing that really resonated with me.
Yeah, and the fact that it won a Goodreads award for romance, it's just a popularity contest.
Yes.
I feel like there were things on that list that were better, and I feel like there were even better things that did not make it to the list. I have a lot of gripes with that. I could go on and on about it, but I feel like it did not deserve that award.
Yeah.
Period.
I agree. And super overhyped.
Yeah.
If Emily Henry is the best romance that you're reading, then you're missing out on a lot of good stuff.
I'm going to put in oh no, it was Janelle Hate Reads talking about Colleen Hoover, but same thing. She's like, if she has like 1 million haters, I'm one of them. If she's got 1 hater, it's me. If she has 0 haters, I'm dead.
Oh my god.
I just love that saying so much. But
is that you for Emily Henry?
I hate to say it, but yeah, it's me with like of the Emily Henry books I've read. Yeah. Emily Henry, Christina Lauren. Jesus, Something Wilder. I can't even talk about that book. Like, I won't even go there. And then, Colleen Hoover, I will say hers out of all 3 of those authors that I named are more entertaining. They are quicker reads for me.
Yeah.
But they are way more messed up. Like,
yeah.
I worry for the woman.
Yeah.
Like, her mental state is unwell with some of these themes. But, yeah.
That was the worst.
That was the worst. What about you?
That was one of the worst for me, but there's one that kind of tied it. One Italian Summer by Rebecca Surley.
Oh, and you wanted to like that.
I really did. I did try. It was, I'm also a mood reader, and when it was presented to me on Instagram, I was like, oh, I'm really in the mood for a book like that. And I was very, very disappointed. The romance was and the setting was beautiful, and I felt like
the cover's pretty.
Pretty. Yes, I fell victim super hard. But
sorry, you're hearing our straws clicking on the mug. I apologize.
It's making them want to be beverage goblins too. Pick up a drink. Let us know what you're sipping on while you're listening to this. But yes, it was just unremarkable, and I felt unsatisfied when I ended it, and it disappointed me a lot.
I hate that.
I hate that too. July brings happier tidings, though.
Yes.
So go ahead.
I'll say June. It was hard for me to pick a favorite. Easy to pick a least favorite. Like, I was in a book slump in June looking at it. I hit July, and yes, happier tidings. I finally got out of the slump, and I read some really good books. I read 6 books total. I don't know if I can pick one. I'm just going to name, it's a 3-way tie.
Nice.
Between our book of the month, Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. Fabulous. Loved it. Cried during the last, I don't know how many pages, pacing the apartment. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna.
Oh, that one was really good.
It was really good.
Loved
I got that book for Christmas of 2022, and then I finally felt like I was ready to absorb it. Loved it. And then, of course, I'm glad my mom died, but Jeanette McCurdy, so good.
We just talked about that one too.
That was my first memoir, I think, of 2023. Not my last. I've read a couple since. But yeah, those were my 3 favorite.
I have a 2-way tie.
Okay.
First one was I started the Aragon series.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even going to go into it again,
Reread.
but this is a reread. But Christopher Paolini was the blueprint for all. He walked so that all other dragon fantasies could run.
I love saying that.
I know. I get that from you, dude. I truly believe it. All of these weakling wyverns and not really drawn well dragons, they can learn a thing or two from that series. So that one is tied with I'm not even going to call it a tie. A kind of a 3-way tie too, but basically the Juliet Marieller, The Child of the Prophecy, that's the second book in the 3-part series. So I finished that one, and then I also started reading Discovery of Witches.
Oh, yep.
And that's not a reread, but I watched the show and I never read the book. So
you did it in reverse.
I did.
That's
I know.
We also talked about that today.
That's the first time I've ever done it. But I think it worked for me because enough time had passed. I haven't watched the show in at least 5 or 6 years.
Oh, wow.
I kind of really forgot everything that happened. So it didn't really impact what I was reading in the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All mine were fantasy that month.
Yeah. Mine were, those 3. And then a Karen Slaughter book called False Witness, which was also really good. Solid book, but I read more solid ones that month.
What was not solid?
This was a hard month to pick because most everything was good. But if I had to pick a least favorite, it would be Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. This is one that I started reading, I want to say middle or high school. And so this book was so vivid to me. I remembered the cover and it's so weird. This is just a whole weird thing for me, but every now and then I would think about that book. Just the theme of it or what bits I remember and specifically the cover. And then when we read Addie LaRue, they reference the book. When someone's looking in the bookstore and Henry's helping them.
Yeah.
They bring
see
that book
one.
up. And so when I went to Books A Million one day, I saw it in the bargain section for $6. I was like, oh, so I'll read it. It's not that it was terrible. It's just rereading it. Obviously, it doesn't have the same magic as it did. When I initially read it, it was just some parts of it were a little unrealistic or just maybe a little slow for me. And then the ending, it's like a series about this family. And I finished it and I was like, I don't know if I really cared for that.
Yeah.
It was a little depressing. It just didn't hold up compared to everything else I read that month.
What did you rate it?
I think I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up, but I feel like I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
It just was, and I wanted to like it.
Yeah.
And then finding out it was a series, I was like, oh, maybe work is calling me. I was like, oh, maybe, if I like it. Yeah, I gave it a 3.
Okay.
I'll continue to read about this family.
Yeah.
No, I'm not interested. In fact, I gave the book away. What about you?
So I actually had a monumental time this month. I have a tie for my bottoms.
A tie for best and bottoms?
You want to know why? Because I DNF'd 2 books in July.
Oh my God. I think I've only DNF'd 1 book this entire year. Wow. I want to hear about it. Tell me.
Yeah, you're going to be shocked, I think. I don't even know if I told you about it. You might.
Oh, this is a revelation.
I DNF'd the Midnight Library.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that, yeah.
I just wasn't ready for it.
Things. I've heard not great things.
Yeah.
About that book, yeah.
I didn't like it at all. And I did give it, I think I brought it on I went to like a beach weekend in Mass. I brought it. I was reading it on the beach and I was like, I think I'd rather just like sit here and do nothing than read this book.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Very unlike me. And it was giving, I believe it came out before Addie LaRue.
I've heard it's not like a concept issue. It's like an execution issue. Like the idea is good.
Yes.
But not enough was done with it.
Yes, I agree.
That's what I agree.
Now that you say that, like it felt like almost disjointed, like the ideas that were trying to be developed.
Yeah.
And the level of like depression and the way it was portrayed.
Yeah. That
the main character goes through. It was just, I don't think I was ready for it. I wasn't in the mood to like be reading that.
Yeah, that's hard.
So maybe, I know it did get some raving reviews like from a lot of people, but I couldn't handle it. Excuse me.
Thanks, Maddie. No, I'm kidding. It's the cocoa powder.
I know. I'm trying to wash it down with more cocoa powder.
All right, and then what was the second one? What was Midnight Library tied with?
The second one was Untamed by Glennon Doyle.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
That's controversial.
And that's a memoir, right?
It is.
Okay. That is controversial because I hear that that's such a great book. It's really good. The cover's cool. I think I held on to that book for
a few days, maybe?
A while. Like a couple months, and then I just wasn't ready for it. I felt like I was never going to be ready for it in the near future, so I just put it back on the shelf.
I don't even
and think... And then you picked it up.
I picked it up because I wanted the same things, but again, I think it had something to do with my mood. I think that the author is an amazing woman. She went through a lot. However, the way that she wrote, it's like I could hear a voice in my head.
And you didn't like that
I
voice.
didn't like the voice, and it felt, this is probably not how it was meant to come across, but it felt kind of preachy to me.
Oh, I have a problem with that.
Yeah. Like it was a memoir and she was telling her experiences, but in the book she's like, these are the ways to like succeed at life. And she was giving you these like pointers, like, this is the key. Key number 1, do this. Key number 2. And I was like,
that's not what you were picking that book up for.
Yeah. And
like,
the thing,
you didn't want a self-help book.
No, I wasn't ready for it. And I think during that time, like July, August, I was just like starting like that program that I've been doing and doing a lot of work, like improvements and things on my own. And they weren't conflicting or anything like that, but I was going through like coaching and a lot of kind of like sessions with this program. And they weren't like not lining up, but it was just like too much self-help about how to like improve yourself and do everything all at once. Like it was too much.
Yeah. Way too much.
Just too much. And I'd say that I soft DNF'd that one. Because maybe I'll come back to it if I need that kind of motivation. If
it
I
wasn't the right time.
Yeah. If I like find that I lose myself or something next year, maybe I'll.
Oh my God.
I'll pick it up next year. All right. To August we go.
I read 9 in August. Yeah, I was reading a lot. And I think my favorite would be my reread of The House in the Cerulean Sea for book club. I just love that book at baseline, and it was still just as good on the second read.
I'm so glad.
And I'm glad we got to read it for book club. I think a lot of people liked it.
Very well received.
I'm excited for the next one. It's going to come out, the sequel, God knows when.
Did they not release a date yet?
I can't remember. I don't think No, I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I don't think it's next year, but I don't really know.
They probably didn't. They're
I
going to
just
keep
know
us
it's
on our
not now.
toes. Yeah.
It's not now.
Unfortunately, it's not now. I'm going to second that. That was the
Yeah,
best
we're
book that I
lining
read.
up
We
for
lined up
August.
right there.
Let's
we
go.
lined up. Yeah, tell me what your worst one was.
Looking at the list of books that I read, most of them, other than Cerulean Sea, were not bad. I would say a little bit above mid.
Mm-hmm.
But then I look on this list and I say, oh yeah, this book wasn't mid. This book was straight trash.
What was it?
First of all, let me just say, after I read this book, I knew, like, I'll buy books and I will put, like, my embossed stamp on it if I know, like, after I read it, I'm going to keep this book. I will reread it. Mm-hmm. This one did not earn the stamp.
She ain't got no stamp.
Put it in the work library. I don't think that thing's been picked up from there, period. It's always in there when I look in the shelves. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I had such high hopes about this one, too.
I did, too, because, number one, the cover.
Yes.
Stunning. Beautiful.
Yes, the concept, too.
Yeah, the premise. Wow. Like, time is tying these women together. Men are doing them wrong. Like, you know, they're going to take matters into their own hands. Mm-hmm. Apothecary. Poisoning, like it's got
everything lines up.
Everything's great. And then I read it and I was like,
oh, that's
like
not good.
One of the I forced myself to finish reading it. I think some parts of it weren't so bad, but it was the main character in the present time that I disliked. The character that they flash back to in the past, the actual person that worked at the apothecary. Guys, this was a long time ago, so I don't remember the names of the people.
I think we understand.
But yeah, the present day main character was such a pick-me. Such a pick-me in her like late 30s for no reason at all, and like I'm different than other girls, and I really, really want to be pregnant. I really want to be pregnant with my like deadbeat husband who's lame and controlling. I couldn't do it. I could not support this woman because she was not a girl's girl.
Oh,
and then
God.
All she wanted was to be pregnant. And then in the end, spoiler alert, she instead like goes to get her doctorate or something. And she's like, and it's going to take 9 months. So like it's in place of like a 9-month pregnancy. Like I'm going to have this education. It just, none of it really made sense. Like time wise, program, like you're going to get a graduate degree in 9 months.
I don't think you ever explained to me what you didn't like about it, but right now I'm kind of my skin is prickling.
I was like, don't
right
try
now.
to be deep like that because you're not selling it.
Yeah.
Trash.
Oh,
hated it.
Trash.
Sorry to all the girls, boys and theys who liked it. Terrible.
Oh God. Yeah, catch me never picking that up again. Thank you.
If I saw that in your hands, I'd smack it out. All right, show me what you disliked.
This is a hard one because the lowest rating that I gave to all of my books in August were 3s. Yeah, so
nothing terrible.
Yeah. So out of all of them, oh my God, even just kidding. Oh yeah. So that's so funny because the best was House in the Cerulean Sea. My worst one was Under the Whispering Door.
Yeah. It's a disappointment when I think. And I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah. I've also heard, though, because Brittany said she loved this one more than the other one. That's the thing I was going to say.
She's the only person I know who liked Under the Whispering Door better than Cerulean Sea. But most other people I've talked to who have read both are the other way around.
Yeah. And I still rated a 3. I think it was good, but I was just hoping for
magical,
more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not just the elements, but like the writing.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. It was a little predictable too.
I think the theme was great and it was really creative. But when you take it and you read it in I read that one that month too.
Yes. Because I think we said we wanted to read it after Cerulean as well. Did you give it a 3?
I think I gave it like a 3.5 or a 4.
Okay. Yeah. I was in between all of that. Like it was good, but it's not like I'm going to go out of my way to recommend that.
I wouldn't either.
All right, homie. September we come.
Yeah, this was a slow month for me, and I think it was because of two things.
Okay.
Number one, final month before the wedding.
Oh, yeah.
And two, Baldur's Gate came out.
Oh, yes.
And I was gaming.
You were
on that
gaming.
thing.
She was mad gaming for real.
I still am to this day.
You couldn't get her away from it.
And yeah, I ditched everyone to play that. So yeah, I only read 3 books, so the pool is very small.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say out of the 3 that I read, The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood was the best that month.
I did really like that
Yeah.
one.
If I had some other books in there, I don't know that would have necessarily taken first place, but between the 3, yeah, that was the best one.
Okay. Best one for me. I have a fantasy best and a...
That's good.
Yeah. Actually, that's the best one.
Really?
I finished Priory of the Orange Tree in September.
Yeah, I gotta read that still.
I don't even think I'm ready to talk about it yet still. I would like to, when you start reading it, I want to reread it and re-experience it.
Let's do that at some point.
Okay. Sometime next year.
In the near future.
Yes, please. Because I need to, and I feel like if I reread it now, even if we did it tomorrow, I would still feel the same amount of like shock and awe. Like it's that good. It's so
like
good.
Cerulean-y. Like you still love it just as much.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I it's like one of those things where I miss the characters.
Oh.
I want to re-fall back in love with it. And then we have to read the prequel together. Oh, I'm dying to read the prequel.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Oh my God.
I've heard it's good.
I've heard it's even better than the.
That's what I've heard too.
Dang, we gotta do that.
I gotta get on it because I have both books on my shelf.
Yeah, come on, dude.
There's no excuse.
Should we do that soon? When you're in a fantasy mood. Next time you're in a fantasy mood.
I just I know it's gonna slow me down.
Yeah.
That's what pushes me away. That I'm like, oh, I can't read anything else.
Yeah. All right. In your pool of 3, what was the worst? I think I know what it was.
What was it? Say it.
Was it The Cartographers?
Yes.
Say it for me.
The Cartographers by Ping Shepherd. That was not the one I voted for, which is fine. The one I vote for does not always win. Totally cool. Part of the democracy. I just
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah.
and I know that was like a pretty universal feeling for the people who did read that in September. Like I know a couple people who either couldn't finish it or were like dragging for the last like 25 pages. Like it was a chore to finish is what I've heard. And that's how I felt. I just had no real enjoyment reading it. Like there were some parts that weren't bad plot wise.
Yeah.
But I just felt like, I don't know. I feel like the formatting of the story, like everyone's different point of view.
Yes.
It didn't work for me.
No.
And then I didn't care for Nell.
I thought it could work.
Care for her.
I didn't care for her. I didn't care for her romance. It was weird and up and down.
It was weird.
And like the magical like aspects of it, I'm like taking from my review, but it was just so oddly placed. And the characters, just their dynamics like got like really exhausting to follow. And like it didn't keep me engaged. And like you said, there were parts where I was like, oh, this is starting to get interesting. Yeah. Oh, there's like mystery here. Who did this? Blah, blah, blah. And then by like half going towards the end, you're like, come on, dude. What even is going on here and why? And another one of those like miscommunication friend groups too. Like, yeah.
And I there were like plot twists.
Yeah.
That I totally predicted. Like I think I predicted before the middle of the book that the female main character, her love interest, was working at the company of like the dad's
like mortal enemy,
like frenemy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that's. And then the big reveal when it happened, I was like, yeah, I kind of like spoiled that on the Fable comments, which I have not done since. But I was like, oh yeah, oops.
Sometimes you just guess at it though.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, they're gonna try to do this. It wasn't working for me.
Yeah, that was a universal. Yeah. That might be probably the top 5 lowest books that we've read in book club so far.
Yeah,
I think so. We did not get great ratings at all.
No, it's okay. They cannot all be winners,
right? Yeah,
you never know how it's going to be until you read it. So it's a journey.
God. All right. October.
I read 4.
Okay.
They were all pretty good. Like there's nothing standing out for the later point, which will be my least favorite. But favorite, I kind of have 2. The Collected Regrets of Clover. Loved
that.
So good, by Mickey Brommer, and that was her debut novel. Really loved it. I thought it was fabulous, and it touched on a lot of things that books don't always touch on and discuss, and it was very deep. And then I listened to Someone Else's Shoes by Jojo Moyes. On audio through a library app. And Daisy Ridley narrated that. So was the story my favorite? No. But she did such a fabulous job narrating it and did so many different accents. She was so talented that it just made it like a higher rating for me. Because she did a really good job.
Good.
Yeah.
Interesting. I am having a very hard time right now looking at my picks. I do agree with you. Collected Regrets of Clover was a great book club book. That book club meeting was so fun. I feel like it was like great food, just a really great like round table discussion, so cozy. I have like it's gonna be hard. Okay. The second Elena R. Moss book, it was American Roommate Experience. Yeah. So this is the one where the man is a Latino, and instead of the woman. Yeah, and he flies in from I think Brazil or something like that. Oh, he's so dreamy.
Oh my god,
it's so good. Obviously Elena R. Moss is like I always say she's my Emily Henry. What Emily Henry wanted to be. But then I also tied that in the last one of the third book in the Kings of Sin series, King of Greed.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that one was so good too, man. I'm just sweating just thinking about it, dude.
She is.
Yeah, it was a smut month because then those were like my top 2 spicy rom-coms, but then I also started reading the Devney Perry, the Edens series as well. And that was the beginning of my obsession with that. And after I started and finished that in one night on October 31st, I was like reading at least 2 or 3 like within the week.
Oh my god.
So yeah, those were my tops. I had a lot of tops.
Yeah, I've had some months like that.
Yeah.
I was on a constant high.
All right. What was on your bottom in October?
Nothing really stood out. Nothing was really terrible. But if I had to pick one book out of the 4, it would be The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I might be saying his last name wrong.
I've been wondering what your thoughts were about this.
I liked it. I haven't read the second one yet, and I know there will be more in the series. I think the premise was interesting. I realized after reading another book that had some like kind of Norse like Viking mythology, it's not my favorite.
Interesting.
It's not
I don't think it's my favorite either. Yeah.
But I did enjoy it, reading it. I liked it. It's just the names are very hard for me.
Yeah.
And I've read a lot of fantasy books from different like cultures. Like I most recently read Daughter of the Moon Goddess.
Oh, yeah.
That had a lot of Chinese folklore and mythology and names.
Yeah.
And I somehow I found memorizing those character names a lot easier than the character names in Shadow of the Gods. And I think it's because maybe like the names in Shadow of the Gods some of them were pretty similar. Maybe they change a couple letters. But I don't know. It was just, I had a hard time really
getting into it
because I was trying to memorize everyone. Like this was a book I think that had a glossary in it of the character names. I can't recall that. That might have just been the Moon Goddess one, but I don't know. Like I liked it, and I'm gonna read the second, but I wasn't in love with it.
I can. That's how I feel about my lowest book. Mine was A Game of Gods, the Scarlet St. Clair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and look at my thing. It's just so satisfying that I have all the books, and I think there's going to be 1 or 2 more, but honestly after that one, I might not buy
I've read a few of them and I'm just like,
Yeah, if you're ever wanting a repetitive love scene book, this is the one for you. And she does it in the Hades and Persephone's perspective. But I don't think you need to waste your time and get both of the books from each perspective because it's all the same story. At this point, there's no other different way they can make love.
My God.
They've done it all that I feel like is in Scarlett St. Clair's wheelhouse, because at this point she's just reusing the same scenes and they're doing it the same way. And
she's gonna have to start using Mad Libs for the next few books to fill in the blanks.
I put it in my noun.
Oh my God.
My blank.
Oh my God. Yeah, I read a couple of those, and some of the smut, it got old.
Yes,
I was
exactly.
like,
and when it gets like that, you're like, I don't really feel like reading that anymore.
I almost want to skim this.
Yes,
like, we're just
yes,
and I hate one thing I hate in a book is a mob plot. Oh my God,
really?
What do you mean, really?
I don't hate that.
I hate it.
You hate it?
Like how?
That's so interesting.
It's making it so unrealistic. Like, it's taking me out of the book. And you know what series I've seen a lot of that on?
What?
Knock 'em Out. People, if you read reviews, even like not just reviews of strangers, I can see my friends' reviews on there, and they say the same thing. This plot is just crazy. Every book I read in this series, I haven't read the third one yet, Lucian's, but you read Knox and Ashes, and it's like, first of all, saying those names out loud, that's crazy. But you read their books, and it's like, oh, God, here's a bad guy.
That's so funny to me.
I mind it. So yeah, I know that's in there in the
oh God,
Scarlett St. Clair series.
Yeah,
and I can't stand this mob plot. Come on, I'm sick of this. Like, all I think of is the Penguin in the Batman. Like, I'm not scared of you.
I'm not scared of you.
I'm not scared of you.
That's so funny. I've never heard you tell me that's one of your lower level plots.
You know what made me realize it?
What?
The books you told me to read, because I wasn't reading this material before, and I read it twice. In the Hades that you recommended to me.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And then I read Knock 'em Out.
Oh my God, I just read. I can't recommend you any others. Could have a mob plotted.
Okay, can you tell me The King of Greed and Wrath?
Oh, dude, yeah, there's one that has a mob plotted.
I can't. It's already written off.
Okay, just keep reading the Elena Armas ones. Those ones aren't mobs.
No more mobs.
I didn't know this about you. That's so funny.
The only mob I like is
Crime Mob.
No, okay. It's The Little Mermaid. There used to be a TV show growing up, and there were these lobsters, and they were like, the mobster lobster, or the lobster mobster.
That's on brand.
That's the only one I don't mind.
Oh my God, too much. Oh God. Oh, you know, my lowest one, you're going to know what it is. It was this book called Belle de Jour by Anonymous. Yeah. I gave that one a 2.
Did you ever figure out where you got it from?
No. And this is, okay, maybe that person who guys, if you gave me this book, Belle de Jour, Diary of an Unlikely Call Girl,
reach out to Janine.
Please reach out, because I have no idea how this book came into my collection. I thought somebody gave it to me as a present, that they thrifted it and said that I would like this. However, it seems that I cannot find the source of this book.
Are you sure this was a friend? Dude, or was this an enemy?
It probably was. I was probably like poisoned by it. It's just like waiting in the back of the book just as I finished it. But I mean, it was another one that was I was optimistic about it at first, because I was like, ooh, this is a raunchy. And it's kind of like a little coming of age, like a woman who starts to work as a call girl in 80s, 90s London, and it goes through her escapades, and there are like empowering parts of it, and then she goes like in her diary, she does like a little lettering, cute little like A is for Adam's apple, B is for booby, whatever. Okay. And then so yeah, it definitely just wasn't for me. That format of writing is not my thing. I don't like feeling like I'm reading from a diary, so was not about it. And that's all I gotta say about that. We got one more month, baby.
November.
I
read 11 books.
Ooh.
And I'm having a hard time picking a favorite, so I'm just gonna do a play-by-play here.
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna do a play-by-play because I have to shout out some of these books. They were so good.
Okay.
The first one I read in November was The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not usually one to reach for like a straight, I don't mean straight romance. I mean like pure romance book, but that was pretty good. I think I gave that one a 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then for book club, we read Starling House by Alex Harrow.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very good fantasy. I don't know that that's one that I would have picked up independently, but I did enjoy reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of my top books for November was Slewfoot by Brahm.
Yeah.
And that had been sitting on my shelf for a while. And I was like, screw it. I'm just going to read it. And oh my God, it was so good. I really loved it. Like there were a few quotes, especially at the end, like without giving any spoilers, that I was just like, good for her.
Nice.
Like, it was good.
That started your good for her era.
Yeah. And then I read No Exit by Taylor Adams. That was a really good thriller.
Mm-hmm.
That was one that I just went to the library. It was on my list of books I had been wanting to read. I just picked it up and I could not put it down. I think I finished it in like 24 hours. I'll talk about this book later. And then I read The Duology, Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan, and she'll be releasing a novella for that world next year. It was beautiful.
Yeah, you keep telling me about that
I
one.
loved it. It was so beautiful, like the imagery, just her descriptions, the story. It was so good. It was all about family, and there was like a love triangle in there, but like one that I was actually like invested in. I feel like those could usually go either way, but I was like 4. Like I was like, oh my God, what do I do? So I love that. I did cry at the end of the second one. I mean, it was like the way the second one ended.
Tearing up just thinking about it.
I was laying there crying. I was like, and then I enjoyed Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. That was really good. Space horror. It was like Ghost Ship meets Titanic and like Dead Space. Creepy. I finished that fairly quickly. I ate that book up. And then I read Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. Compared to the first one, maybe a little better. But Nash started really pissing me off at the end of that book. I was like, who is he now? Like, I used to really like his character, and I was like, oh no, he's like,
it dwindled for you.
He's really like controlling. I don't like that. And then I ended the month with The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, and of course liked the book.
Nice.
So I mean, it was a solid month. Like majority of the books I read, I was like, I like these. Yep. Like I'm having a hard time picking one.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow your lead because I think I liked all of the books I read. I continued on the Eden's Chronicles. It's like a 6-book series that goes through all of the siblings. Each of those books, even though they're kind of cheesy and predictable, for some reason, I just like them and they're addicting, and I was running through them. I finished the second book in the Aragon series, which was amazing. So great. I can't say enough good things. And then I also read Starling House. I thought that was good. wanted a little more out of it, but I was actually reading 2 books at the same time, Starling House and The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires.
And that you liked better. I thought?
Yeah.
Okay.
5 out of 5. I recommend that. This is a question for me, to me and you and Shelby. But if that was donated to our little free library, can I keep that book?
What are you asking me here? on here.
Because I like it. Okay.
Everybody.
I like it so much that I will buy it myself if I can't keep it yourself.
I think it was donated in good faith to the Lone Pine Library.
Someone, if you guys are a part of the library, you need to pick this one up because it's going to be rented out quick.
If you don't pick it up,
it's going to have my stamp in it.
Yeah, it'll never find its way back to the library again.
It was so good, guys. And I'm not a horror girly, but I'm a sucker for like vampires, werewolves, like Van Helsing-esque kind of shiz. But this was dark. It was creepy. I had to take a break from reading it a couple times. And it's like it was a great portrayal of a vampire, not like a cheesy, like weak kind of, I don't know. Sometimes vampires aren't like, they're not described scarily enough. I feel like they're like kind of
Twilight,
watered down. Yeah. Yeah. And so I like to feel an intense, like kind of like doom and like
fear.
Enough fright. Yeah.
Like,
and
it's a predator.
Exactly. And that is the perfect word to describe the main
in a
antagonist
non-creepy way.
Yeah.
Like,
Jesus.
Apex predator.
He was the epitome of just like a very, very like dark,
was he the big
twisted individual?
Was he the big bad?
What does that mean?
Like the bad guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, that I would reread that book again, but I recommend it to everyone now. I think you should read it. And then I read The Love Hypothesis after, and I did really like it. I have high hopes for Allie Hazelwood. I'm going to start. I kept saying I was going to start reading Tessa Bailey soon, but I kind of accidentally put that on hold.
You want to continue the Allie Hazelwood train?
Yeah, I do.
She has several others. I think she's got one called Love on the Brain,
and then Love Hypothetically.
Love Hypothetically, and then I think she just released one, but it's more YA. Is it Check and Mate?
Yep.
And now she's going to be working on more of like a kind of like fantasy one, like a romance, but with monsters. Like I think it's called Bride, and it's a vampire marrying a werewolf.
Oh, okay.
I think I sent it to you.
And the cover art is really cool. Exciting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm remembering, and now I'm excited.
I would order that just because it looks beautiful. I'm a sucker for a cover.
I know. We're cover suckers. Nice. I'm going to tell you what I ended with. Okay.
Yeah.
And it might be controversial.
Oh God.
I read The Isle of Sin and Shadows by Carrie Lake. I found this book from one of the dark romance bookstagrammers I follow, and like the deep smut, like that, some heavy dark shiz.
Help.
Let me tell you, this crap was jarring. They were straight up. Let's just say they were in the woods doing things they didn't need to be doing with objects. Okay.
What? I'm going to need the down low on this when we're not recording. We're going to go for a quick break, and we'll be right back.
We will, but not yet.
All right, we'll finish this month.
But basically, it was good. I rated it a 4 out of 5. I was on the edge of my seat, just wondering. And I let my fiance read a little excerpt of it. He was like, I can't believe this is the things that you're consuming.
He's like, you need to be evaluated.
Oh my God. Corrine, wasn't there something that you wanted to tell me a story about one of the books that you read? I didn't hear you mention it.
Okay, I'm ready though. Are you done?
I'm ready. I'm finished.
I don't want to interrupt you.
Actually, yeah, because that was, I didn't have any low ones.
Okay, because this ties in with my low ones.
Okay.
I'm just going to start. I had 2 that I was like, really not vibing on.
Okay.
For November. And the worst one between the two was Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. Now, I did listen to this one on audio, and I don't know. I feel like sometimes maybe the narrator factors into my rating on the book, but it also, like, I've listened to some books that maybe I didn't necessarily like the narrator's voice or the style they were doing it in, but still, you know, rated it relatively well.
Yeah.
If the story was solid.
Yeah.
All of it was just, it was not solid. One of the things I hate, this is just a side note,
okay,
is when, like, a woman is narrating the book and adopts a deep voice for a man and like, or tries to, like, talk like a guy.
Yeah.
And then the person narrating the male character then tries to, like, says the quotes for the woman.
Yeah.
Goes, was
the narrator terrible? Was it cringe?
So I think there were two narrators. You know what? I don't even remember because I just tried to get through it. It was terrible. It went back and forth between present day, and then the past when the female main character had first met the male, and they spent this one day together. One day. They spent 24 hours together, maybe not even. And she just pined after him for 10 years after he, like, ghosted her. They were supposed to meet on, like, the 1 year anniversary of when they first met, something like that. And he never met her. And she just, like, completely pined after him and then runs into him. And you mean to tell me that this is what we're supposed to be doing? Like, I don't know. It was just not great. The plot, what plot? What plot? There was no plot. It was a 1 out of 5 for me.
Dang.
It was bad. Okay, now the second one. This next one. I'm just going to say, you know what? Before I get into the story of this book, that it got 2 stars out of 5.
Oh, wow. Even
you know why? Because there was a plot.
Yeah.
Okay, so it got it a little bit better. All right, so for future reference, this was also an audiobook. The reason why I listened to this one is because it was 5 hours long. This is like with Spotify having the 15 free hours of audiobook per month. And I do this thing where I'm strategic about what I listen to. Like, I'm going to pick 2 books for the month, and they're both going to add up to 15 hours because I'm not going to start one and then not finish it and have to wait till the next month. Yeah, I can't do that. So I have to be very strategic. So I listened to Meet Me at the Lake. It was like a little under 10 hours. And then I'm just scrolling. Like, this was when it was, like, I think it came out in November that they were doing this. And I was like, I'm going to create, like, a playlist of audiobooks that I want to listen to. And I added this one because I was like, oh, yeah, I think this is one that I, like, saved on my library app as, like, an ebook that I want to read.
Yeah.
I didn't read the synopsis. I just said, oh, this cover looks familiar. Yeah. And it's for like 5 hours. Okay. So I was like, all right, let's do it. The Never King by Nikki St. Crow. I was like, all right, yeah, this is a horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cover has a skeleton on it with bloody eyes.
Yeah.
First of all, those are red sunglasses. So I started listening to it, like, ready for a scary story. The first chapter, some sus stuff going on. There's a little smut, and I was like, oh, it's kind of weird, but, like, very casual.
Okay.
And some foul language. I was like, okay, a little weird. And then they're getting into this plot, and it's like, okay, like, this poor girl, she has turned 18 recently. She's, like, now that she's turned 18, there's this curse upon her family. It's going to take her. Like, this happens to all the women in her family. They, like, lose it. And her mom's, like, paranoid. Like, oh, my God, he's going to come take you away. Like, you know, we have to lock you up and do all this stuff. So it's a retelling of Peter Pan. And she's, like, one of the darling women. So, yeah, he comes, he takes her away. I thought it was going to be scary.
Mm-hmm.
It was straight smut. And like the kind that I told you what some of it was, and you're like, I don't think I could even read this.
Can you tell them? Just give a little sample. Just a little sample.
And can I just remind everyone again, this was on audio.
It was on audio.
So I'm not just reading it in silence. Like, it's being read to me. And the one thing I will say about this book is that there were 4 voices.
Oh,
there were 4 narrators.
They invested.
And so, okay, that was a little bit of a bonus there. I didn't have to hear that, but they did, like, the guy, it would be from his point of view, and he would read, like, what the woman said. And she's like, ay, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Like, I just can't listen to this, period. So I was, like, listening to it over dinner. And my husband's like, what the hell? And then I told him what happened, that this was a complete accident, and he just started laughing because he's like, you, who can literally not finish a book. Like, you have to finish a book. Like, he thought it was hilarious because he knows, like, I have to follow through. And some of it was just so foul. It was like...
You could say
like,
a little.
She was getting a train ran on her. Like... in front of everyone.
In front of everyone?
Like, she was, like, flirting with a rando lost boy who I don't even think he had a name. And Peter Pan was so jealous, he ripped the man's heart out. She's, like, and was covered in blood, and she somehow found that attractive. And then he, like, bent her over a table in front of everyone. And then they all started taking turns. It was foul. Like, I was listening to it, and I was like, I had to pause it because I was eating dinner. Like, I was losing my appetite. I needed to eat. And you know what? I'll read romance just as much as the next person. Like, I've read the Hades series, and I've read, like, Spanish Love Deception. Those are not, like, the spiciest things out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Hades is pretty spicy, but I know it, on a scale, it's not the spiciest. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of this is just, like, depraved.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, then maybe that's someone else's, like, thing.
It's gotta be. Someone's, like, consuming that, and it's
I
like...
was listening to it, and I was like, there was some plot. But I was like, this took a turn.
It beat me at the legs.
Guys, keep in mind, I thought this was a horror book. It was a different kind of horror.
This was the most innocent level of bamboozled that
I was so bamboozled, and I was laughing about it for days. I thought it was hilarious. I had to tell people around me, I was like, listen, I started listening to this book. I thought it was horror.
Oh,
it's just straight up smut.
That was just smut, man.
This was smut. And then I had to have that on my Goodreads for everybody to see. I gave it a 2.
Yeah. That's, I'd say it's gracious.
And then someone messaged me, and they're like, would you recommend this? I was like, no.
Like, how's your mind?
No. Like, if you like smut, that's cool. But
there's
better stuff out there.
There's levels to that shiz too. There's some people that are into that dark, twisted shiz.
It was reverse harem, actually. I had not read a reverse harem book. I know Den of Vipers is one that you've read, but
yeah,
I don't know. It was like the whole, like, recently just turned 18 plot point.
Oh,
with
God.
These characters are like hundreds of years old that I was like not vibing on to.
So was there like a Captain Hook character in there?
This is a series.
Oh,
so I'm sure at some point
he's gonna Captain Hooks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dang, man.
Yeah, not for me.
So those were your 2 bottoms?
Yes.
Okay. And we're not really going to get into December just yet. We're kind of still in the thick of it. What is it, the second week of September?
It's the second week. And
December.
I will say, I think I've read 3 books this month already. I'm on my 4th and 5th. I read The Unmaking of June Farrow.
Mm-hmm. No spoilers yet.
No spoilers. It was good. I liked it. I wanted a little more from it, but I liked it. Mm-hmm. I read Carrie by Stephen King. Mm-hmm. The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. That was on audio with Michelle Williams narrating. Very good. And then currently I'm reading The Troop by Nick Cutter. Very good horror. So far, I'm like halfway. And I'm listening to Didn't See That Coming. That's an audiobook. It's by Jesse Sutanto.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same author who wrote Dial A for Aunties, which I've seen a lot about maybe last year on Bookstagram and Goodreads. It's okay so far. I'm like almost halfway. Not my favorite.
Yeah.
It's YA, but I think some of the stuff is original and there's some stuff true to life, which is good.
Yeah. That's good. I think I have, and I think we talked about it earlier, but I've got Book Club, Book Open, June Farrow. I have Hello Beautiful by Anna Napolitano open. I'm probably 75% done with that. And then I'm reading Bersinger, the last. Actually, it's not the last anymore, but what was for
Second
like at
to
least
last.
like 5 or 6 years was the last book in the Aragon series. So I am going to pick up Myrta. Probably sometime. Then I've only got 30 pages left of Bersinger.
And it's out.
It's out.
I've seen it.
Grabbing it.
Books a Million.
I know. I'm really thinking about buying that series, but I think I gotta get a new bookcase. I'm looking at my space.
I'm looking behind me.
I
Guys, it's pretty. Actually, there's a little space.
There's a little
there.
space
Right there.
Yeah,
You just need to reorganize.
I'll figure it out.
And maybe clean out some stuff.
Yeah, definitely the ones on my bottom shelf on
Yeah,
the
those
left
look untouched.
They are the ones. They are like the standalones. Some of the ones on the right that are standing upright are Teddy's. The ones on the left are my standalones that I didn't like that much. So I might donate.
Teddy has lap
those ones. I was lap phone on that side.
Yeah,
no, that one's fine. That was an accident. That one was kind of crazy too. So yeah, that's our reading roundup, my friends. What we are going to do, we're going to take a little quick break. We're going to kind of switch gears. It's December. It's holiday time. So we're going to kind of start talking about some holiday things and get into that slowly but surely. And yeah, just stay tuned if you want to hear all that kind of stuff.
See you there.
We'll be back. And we're back.
Hello.
I feel like it's only fitting that we have some sort of like holiday content on here.
Oh yeah.
Because
Tis the season.
Tis. Were you, was Christmas your main celebration holiday in your family?
I'd say yeah, it was a pretty big one. I think it still is. It's a little harder now that all of us are grown up and we all have different careers and schedules. And then my sister has like a family. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like Christmas was big for us. What about you guys?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
We didn't really celebrate much else other than, we didn't really do anything else. You know, Easter was a Catholic holiday, but you didn't really.
Yeah.
You wore a new dress to mass.
Yeah. I think like the dinners were very similar between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Uh-huh.
But my favorite to celebrate growing up, like in the family home, was Christmas.
Yeah.
I think all the decorations, like we had like the banister on the stairs, Florida home.
Yes.
That we would decorate and put like this big light up bow at the top of the stairs, and it would be like by my room. And then we would get to hang our stockings, and we had the tree. It was a fake one that you would put the colored branches to the colored pegs.
Oh my god, that's such a
that
throwback.
Like such a core memory?
Oh my god, it is.
And then the worst part was like unfurling the branches and all that. But we had like a lot of special ornaments. It was like Disney collectible ornaments. Yeah, it was like the biggest one in the house, I think, growing up. And my dad had a bunch of the Rudolph animated, like the figurines from the movies. not just Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but like from The Year Without a Santa Claus, like the one with Heat Miser and the Island of Misfit Toys. Like he had Misfit Toys, so we would like put fake snow on the table and then all the little figurines. Yeah, so
yeah,
I feel like a lot of decorations.
I feel like as a parent, that's probably the most fun is to like make your household like trick it out.
Yeah.
Because you've always like when you've experienced Christmas as a kid and then when you grow up, you're like, I want my kids to. Yeah, I know. Teddy and I are balling out this year. It doesn't like look like much like downstairs.
No, it's cozy.
We did not do anything last year, I think. Like we bought our tree. It was our fake tree. I think we had too much going on with like Mia being sick.
Yeah.
And like for some reason we were not in the Christmas spirit. But this year, you know what I think it is? Life in general has just been so cozy.
Yeah.
And that's like the theme, I feel like, especially these last few months. It's like we're finally like, it feels like a breath of fresh air, like a sigh of like relief that we've got here. And I don't know, I can't like pinpoint like why it feels that way or that it's like nothing crazy major happened, but it's like we're finally in a place in our lives where we're like, oh, we can
You're comfortable.
Spend a little extra to do this, like, and go a little harder on the decorations and, you know, like really make plans and have fun with friends and all that kind of stuff. It just feels so nice. So we spent a little more on decorations, and we, like, Teddy and I didn't get each other presents at all last year.
Oh.
This year, we were both going ham.
Nice.
So it's kind of exciting.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
Growing up, you had Santa? Did you celebrate Santa or like have him?
I was actually going to ask you that.
Really?
Like, at what age did you stop having like Santa themed or like Santa being in the house?
I don't remember the age, but I think it went on longer than it would have if my sister wasn't 4 years younger than me. So I think because of that, like, you've got to do it all or nothing. Yeah. Like, obviously, if the older kids like know Santa's not real and they're not getting the gifts, but the youngest is, like, that's suspicious to the youngest. So yeah, it went on a little longer than it would have. But I was totally fine with that. Yeah, I love Santa. To this day, Ryan gets me gifts and puts like Santa on it. Or he'll like have gifts hidden, and then later he'll like put them out like Santa came by. Like I just love it. I don't know. I love gifts. So it's fun. And I remember one year, we put out the milk and cookies, and then there would be bites of the cookies and like milk missing. That was just so magical. Yes. And my parents one year, I think we threw carrots on the roof for the reindeer. And this was a Florida 2-story home, so your windows would lead out to the roof. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a tiered roof. And we would put carrots there. And then one morning we like woke up, or like the middle of the night, we looked, and it looked like there were little reindeer hoof prints like on the roof.
Who did that?
And it was like sparkly. I don't know. I don't remember who did it, but it was so cute.
That is adorable.
Yeah, I loved it. That was like the most magical Santa moment. Yeah, it was so cute.
Is that like a Christmas tradition that you plan on continuing? Like, well, that's a little, I don't know. If you have kids, yeah. Do you have things that you did back then that you've carried on to now? Like you and Ryan?
Not that I can think of. I think one thing I've noticed, like, that's different for different families is Christmas Eve the bigger day for you guys or Christmas? In my family, it was Christmas Eve.
I think ours was Christmas Eve too. Yeah, because we'd stay up till midnight. Oh, and on Christmas Eve or on Christmas Day at midnight was when we were allowed to really? Open our presents. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So in my family, I'm trying to see if I can remember this correctly, because like I think the last time we really did this like as a family all together growing up was I think my senior year of high school, maybe. I think I was home for the holidays like after that, but I don't really remember. It was like around that time. But growing up, Christmas Eve was when we would open our presents. It would be before midnight, but we'd open our gifts Christmas Eve. And it's funny because every year it was like this battle between my parents. Like, my mom is the person to this day. she'll get you a gift. Could be for Christmas, right? It could be like the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be for Christmas or for like my birthday in the fall. And she'd be like, I got you a gift. Do you want to know what it is?
That's me.
She's the type that she just like wants to, like, she's so excited about it for you.
Yep.
That she wants you to know right then and there. And so, taking that into Christmas, she'd be like, as kids, we'd be like, please, we want to open our gifts. It's Christmas Eve. And then my dad would be like, no, like, you have to wait till tomorrow, like the morning. And my mom would be like, yeah, let's open the gifts. And so Christmas Eve was when we would open. I think it started off with just like a couple.
Yeah.
And then I think I got to the point where I was like, just open them all. And then you have Santa gifts for the day of. Oh my God. Yeah.
I love that. I am totally your mom.
Yeah.
I can't handle
That's me
it.
too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm.
You are. And I do that
I want
to
people to
Teddy
know.
too. I'm like, you sure you want to know? Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, depending on the gift. Sometimes I want it to be like, it has to be the perfect moment. Or the perfect timing. But for the most part, I'm like, I got someone a gift and I want you to know what it is. Yeah. I'm so excited to share this with you. I just want it to happen.
It's so fun.
Yeah, Christmas Eve is a big day, and it will be this year too. We're all getting together around that time, and we're going to do Christmas Eve as the day where we're all going to wear matching pajamas, not all together.
Yeah.
I have some that match Ryan, which you saw.
Yeah.
And my parents have their own. Everyone has their own, and we're just going to open gifts. And that's when we would eat like Christmas dinner.
Yes.
And then we would have leftovers the next day.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you going to be in Mass or New Hampshire?
Yeah,
Oh.
the family. And then I think everyone will be there, but my brother, he's covering a shift for someone at the firehouse who has a family.
Okay.
And they want to be there for the kids, of course. So
okay.
he picked up for that person.
Oh, that's sweet.
But everyone else will be there, and I'm excited.
I know.
I have everyone's gifts. So
you were,
I'm ready
early.
to go.
Dang.
I'm ready to go.
I will say, even though I'm not as early as you, this is the earliest I have been, and I haven't even received all my gifts yet.
I've done earlier.
Really?
I've had them like in the past. There was one year I was so on top of it. Everything was like purchased and wrapped like before December.
Girl.
I was ready
You
to go.
were ready.
Yeah. I was like, and that was a big Christmas. I balled out for everyone that Christmas.
Aww.
That was a couple years ago, like 2 to 3 years ago. This year I went, okay, saving for a house and stuff. So I did. Yeah. I got everyone something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stuff they like.
Yeah.
Is it as big as I would have wanted to have gone? No, but you got to do what you can.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all coming from the heart.
It is. Yeah.
That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
Do you feel we didn't have, other than now that I remember why Christmas Eve was ours, is because we go to midnight mass. We'd go to mass at 11.
That's a good show on Netflix. Unrelated. Unrelated.
Dude, that is a good show too. I watched that.
Yeah.
It's got double meaning for me.
Yeah. Catholicism and vampirism. They really go hand in hand.
Dude, that
just...
I mean, in that show,
the parallels before.
Yes,
Yeah.
It went down to the history of it, dude. It was,
and it went down. Anyway, sorry,
that was
midnight mass.
Raul Coley. Say no more.
Say less.
I'm weak.
Yeah,
dude, I love him. But yeah, we're not very practicing Catholics anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. We were Catholic growing up, and we would go to mass.
Yeah.
For Easter as well.
Yeah, yeah. But that's not something that Teddy and I have continued moving here. What we want to do now, and I think that you do this with your mom, now until if you notice our tree, I think I took a picture and I posted it on Instagram, but it's kind of bald right now. But I want our tree to have like personalized ornaments.
Oh yeah.
Every year. So
Nice.
I was watching someone on YouTube, and it was funny because they were like getting ornaments based off of like their favorite shows that they watched that year, or like their favorite trip. And I want to do that. I see people sell ornaments. Was it your tree? Someone had like a lemon or something that came from Italy or something like that.
Not me.
But yeah, I want to like hold on to little memories like that, and I just feel like it's a nice memento. And you're looking at your tree like, oh, that was from the trip this year. Like I want That's a tradition that I want
cute.
to adopt, that I want to start.
Yeah.
And I know you and Murph have a few traditions too.
So my mom and I, every year we get each other a different ornament from like Stonewall.
Mm-hmm.
They have those cute glittery ones.
Yeah.
So we'll exchange them. And so we started that a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it again this year. I checked with her. I'm like, do you have one for me? And she's like, yes. And I know it's going to get to the point where like we'll have to keep track.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to forget what I got her. So I like started a list. But Murph and I, we have one that we started last year where you get the living room all cozy, you get the lights on, the tree lights on, like hot chocolate, cookies, and then we boot up Netflix and like every year they release holiday movies and we'll just watch, not all in one night, but we'll watch all of the ones for like 2022.
Yeah.
Like that month. And then we'll rank them. And some of them, like we watch every single one. It's not like, let me read the synopsis and see the preview. Okay, it looks good. I'll watch it. Like we will intentionally watch every single one. And last year there were 4. And 2 of them were bad. But each one was a different kind of bad. One was just straight up like bad. And the other one was like hilariously bad.
Is it a rom-com?
The I Believe in Santa one.
Oh,
it was
Jesus.
called, like I Believe or I Still Believe, something like that. And it was
terrible.
You got to watch that. It's funny.
You want me to watch it?
I want you to watch it because I just need someone else to witness this.
Okay.
And so for this year, we did, we watched one of them, the one with Jennifer Gardner and Ed Helms, The Family Switch.
That was good?
It was good, yeah.
Okay.
It was obviously like more a comedy than anything. And I think there's another one. So yeah, we're still working on it, but we like to rank them and then just laugh. Like some of the stuff is just so
ridiculous.
Who comes up with this?
Dude, it must be a multi-million-dollar industry to capitalize on these holidays.
We enjoy watching them. I like watching what they come out with, but I think so far out of all of them, of all time, my favorite was Love Hard. One of my favorites.
Yes,
Love Hard and
I just
Single All the Way.
One. I haven't watched Single All the Way yet.
And I'm talking specifically Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some other streaming services that have some. But specifically Netflix, those 2 are my favorite.
Awesome. I don't think that... So Teddy and I, we haven't watched any new ones together, but we did watch some of our classic favorites. So we watched... Home Alone's, not the last one though. And we watched the Santa Claus is, I think,
with
1
Tim
and 2.
Allen?
Yeah. And then I like Jingle All the Way, the Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Oh my God.
I love that one. Turbo Man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so those are the ones that we had time to watch now, but I did watch Love Hard with a couple girlfriends, and I was pleasantly surprised. I did not expect it to be that funny.
It was good.
Yeah.
I just Googled the new ones for Netflix this year.
Nice.
Family Switch is on there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a strawberry shortcake one, so we won't talk about that. One called Best Christmas Ever that has Heather Graham and Brandy in it. That looks good. And there's a lot of kid ones. Love at First Sight.
Sorry.
A rom-com. Boo. I want specifically Christmas movie. Christmas as usual. Not a lot.
Not a lot. Interesting.
And the Claus Family 3. What is it? Belgian to English movie.
Whoa.
That's interesting.
So have you
Love at First Sight. Isn't that the reality show?
No, I think that's Love is Blind.
Oh. It's technically a rom-com. That doesn't count.
Have you and Murph watched any this year yet?
Just Family Switch.
Just Family Switch? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that to my list. I want to watch a movie. Maybe
it was
we can
funny.
watch a movie later.
You just don't want me to leave.
I don't want you to leave.
She's trying
fully
to trap me, guys.
tucked her in,
SOS.
served her wine.
My eyes are I'm blinking.
Blinking real slow.
rapidly.
You know what's a good thing that comes out of Christmas too?
What? Advent calendars.
Advent calendars.
Oh,
yes, that's going to be a new tradition for me, I think. Also sponsored by Corrine, giving me all these new traditions.
Yes, guys.
She got me a tea.
That is another tradition. Corrine and I sometimes have. We readopted it this year. I got the Bon Maman Jam Advent calendar. And we got a coffee one. I forgot the brand, but it's like 25 different coffees from all over. We've had Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Java House Blend.
Yeah, I smell Teddy's coffee and I just got like reignited.
I don't smell it.
I smell it. Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, Advent calendars. I mean, Google it, guys. They have a lot. Makeup, self-care, jewelry, food, beverage. You name it, it's out there. Most likely. Lego, socks,
and you get
Harry Potter,
a gift every day.
It's so wonderful in the morning to wake up and, to start getting ready for my day. And then, like today, to realize, oh my God, Ryan, go open up the calendars. Tell me what we got. This morning was I think a lemon zest and yuzu jam. And the coffee was Costa Rica.
Wow. Yeah. You got like a breakfast spread and
literally we're set up for breakfast, so we got to open it up in the morning.
Yeah, mine I have the one you got me is the English tea shops.
Yes.
And depending on what kind of tea it is, I drink it either in the morning or in the evening.
And have you been enjoying them?
I have been enjoying every single one. I'm saving the boxes.
Yeah.
And I'm just so I can, if I really like one, I can put a star and I can
and
buy
then you
it.
could just buy it.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that chai charger one still is tops.
You loved that. And that was day one.
Dude, that was day one.
Yeah. Yeah. She went crazy. We were playing online.
Crazy that night.
The body count was insane. I've never seen it so high.
I think Rika was like, she's not talking.
Yeah, because she was blocked.
I was absolutely wired, dude.
It was crazy. And as far as the Advent calendars go, I want like the 24 or 25 days because there's somewhere it's like 12 days.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
You got to stop in the middle.
Like ideally 25, but I'll take the 24.
Yeah.
But I want 25.
Yeah, I would want 25 as well. If you got a 12-day, would you do every other day or would you just wait till December 12th and then start?
I guess I'd wait.
I think I'd wait too.
But I feel like when I hit December 1st, I want to start opening.
I'm ready for presents.
I'm ready. It's the month. I don't want to wait.
I wouldn't want to wait either. It's the problem that you've introduced this to me because now I'm always going to want one now.
Every year you're going to want. It's just a matter of what one you want. Even Maddie had one. She had chocolates.
I know. Yeah, I heard that Lindt one that they do every year is pretty good.
I mean,
can't go wrong.
Once you open this box, this Pandora box, you're trapped.
Oh God, I'm trapped now.
You're going to be obsessively Googling them like I was.
I got to think of one I can give to Teddy now.
The whiskey one.
Oh, yeah, he would like the whiskey one.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good thing that always comes out of Christmas as well is the yearly Spotify Wrapped. I wasn't going to go through all of mine, but I wanted to compare top artists.
Yeah, let me pull mine up.
So I had
a dilemma?
No, not a dilemma. I just... I'm trying to remember what was on my last year's. I bet I could find it, but I think The Weeknd was on mine.
Yep, The Weeknd.
And I can't think of anything after that. But this year, I'm just going to read off my top 5. One was SZA. I did run through those albums or her album like crazy. It was kind of in the background.
SOS.
A lot. Taylor Swift was number 2 for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Self-explanatory. I feel like it doesn't need any actually it does because this year I had an album that I had never listened to. I never listened to Lover. You remember? And then I was like, why did I never listen? And that I think is what took her from wherever she was to number 2 because I started just listening to that. And then all the Vault songs came out.
You were like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she released, I think, a couple albums this year. Speak Now.
Yeah.
1989.
Red? Or was that last year?
I can't remember if it was Red.
I think Red might have been last year.
I think Red was last year, yeah.
Yeah.
I could look on Spotify.
Yeah, my number 3 was Kim Petras. You also pretty much put me on that.
I'm telling you.
What's the album she just released?
Feed the Beast.
Feed the Beast, dude. Feed the Beast was my exercise playlist right when it came out. I had that on repeat all the time. Number 4 was Drake, which was weird for me.
That really? You would be the type to know.
You think so?
No.
I think I just have a lot of his old music in my shuffle, and he must have came up a lot. Because when I do hear like old school Drake, it like brings back memories, and I just let it play through. So I guess that's where that came from. And then 5 is Chris Stapleton. Very on brand for us. Teddy and I love Chris Stapleton.
You went to one of his concerts this year, too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And I was trying to get familiarized with all the stuff, but I do love him. Yeah. Your turn.
Number 1, Taylor Swift.
Are we surprised?
Yeah.
She's wearing the 1989 sweater right now.
I got the cardigan on. Number 2, SZA. I listened to a lot of SZA this year. I mean, I love her music in general. Mm-hmm. I really liked her album Control. And then SOS came out, and I loved that too. Mm-hmm. So
it was a grower for me.
It was,
because remember when it first came out? That was a lot of
albums this year.
We were like, it's okay, and then like when you keep listening to it, I was like, oh, it's starting to get pretty good.
That was like a couple albums this year for me. I think Midnight's was a grower.
I never grew into that one.
Was a grower for me. I think Renaissance. No, I liked Renaissance the first listen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There were a couple though. There were a couple albums that I was like not feeling at first, and then as I listened, I really leaned into it. Mm-hmm. Number 3 was Doja Cat.
A little bit of Doja.
Love Doja's music. Mm-hmm. 4 was Labyrinth.
You did put me on Labyrinth.
Yeah, Labyrinth. I mean, he's got some great stuff, and he did release an album this year that I just really, really liked. I mean, I like all of his music, but that album was a banger. I had that on repeat for a while. And then number 5, of course, Beyonce. Of course, Beyonce.
I'm so surprised that Beyonce didn't come up on mine.
I have a solid, I think, in my opinion, I got a pretty good top 5, and it's all like pop, R&B, or rap. Mm-hmm. But really good. And my top song was Nights by Frank Ocean. I played it 45 times, allegedly. I love that song.
I think mine was Snooze by SZA. I had one song that came up. It was like Jealousy by Offset and Cardi B. I was like, I have no idea what this song. No, I don't even know the words or anything to that song. So I have no idea how that came up as a number 1. I think it was just a glitch.
Odd.
Very odd. Yeah. That's pretty much all I got.
Yeah. I mean,
we out here burping.
Sorry, everyone. I had a lot of sushi. Yeah. I mean, it's one of my favorite parts of the year.
Yeah.
It's like getting my Goodreads year in review at the end of the year. I just look forward to it. And the best part of all this for me, other than the little wrapped that they make for you, the whole, review with the animation, is getting your playlist at the end with all your top songs. Yeah. Because I think I have as far back as 2021. Every time it comes out, I heart it. And it's interesting to see how, like, what changes year to year. But one song that I can say with confidence has been on my last 3 years top songs. Can you guess what it is?
Can you tell me the artist?
A couple. It's Doechii. It's Yucky Blucky Fruit Cake. With confidence, I can say that has been on my top
That's awesome.
song playlist 3 years in a row.
Dang.
Yeah, I love that song.
I don't do that. I don't heart it every time when it comes out with my playlist. That's nice.
Yeah, I like to keep it and I will just shuffle through it.
Yeah. It's nice. Because because sometimes I'll forget about things. And then when I go to my little Wrapped playlist, I'm like, I forgot about this.
I love that song.
Yes, yes. It's just a nice little reflection.
Yeah,
towards the end. Yeah. We're pretty poppy, like our classes. Oh, yeah.
My top is pop, and then my second is, I think, rap.
My second was neo soul, I believe.
Neo soul.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like Christian Curria. I don't know if you know who that is, but it's kind of like almost like smooth R&B. We listen to a lot of that. Which isn't surprising. That's Teddy and I's like relaxing music. If we're just hanging out, we put on stuff like that. I would say I think it's interesting because our podcast came up on my Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah.
And we did an episode. Has it been a year to the day? Almost.
I don't know when we recorded. But it came out January 13th.
Okay.
When I saw it.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it doesn't feel like it's been a year.
Does it feel longer?
No, it feels shorter.
It does feel shorter. Now that I say that, I was going to say it feels longer, but
it feels shorter.
Yep. This year flew by. I feel like I blinked, and I just remember you and I and Ryan and Teddy were like at Barreled Souls. Do you remember when we went there? Like, I feel like that was so long ago, but really it was not. It was less than a year ago, probably.
I know.
I don't like it.
Really weird. I know, and people say that as you get older, time flies by faster. And I mean, you always hear that. Like, at least I'd always been hearing it.
Yeah.
And truthfully, I didn't believe it. I didn't. And I'm really feeling it. So I don't know. Have we entered some kind of wormhole? Or is this just like natural? I don't know. But I do feel like time is flying because like I say it all the time at work and other people are like, oh my God, when you get older, it flies by so much quicker.
Yeah.
Like quicker than this?
I know. There's no way.
There's no, like, how? How is that possible?
You know what I think it is?
Being busy.
Being busy.
Yeah. Filling your time.
Being happy.
Yeah.
Like you blink and then you're like, oh, that moment just passed and it's gone now.
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt with the wedding.
Yeah. And I think that sped things up for you, I'm sure.
Yeah. When it was happening, I was, because you always hear like, oh, it's going to pass by so quickly. Like, enjoy it. I was just like in the moment, like, okay, like I don't want to look forward to the next thing that's on the schedule for the day. Like, I want to absorb this moment and absorb like what's going on at this time without worrying about what's coming next.
Yeah. That was a highlight of this past year.
Yeah, it was.
Let's talk about highlights.
Oh, all right. Highlights. I'm trying to think.
Just of the year.
I feel like I've forgotten so much.
Yeah.
Why don't you start?
I think your wedding and our camping trip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those were two highlights for me, too.
I was looking at photos that we took, and I was just immediately, like, just emotional. Like, because it not only was it just like, yeah, we got engaged, whatever, but I have not, like, I was talking to Teddy about it. It was just pure, like, unadulterated fun.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, we had no pressure to really do anything. We had one like little hike planned, but everything else was just good fun, good friends. I don't think there was a moment, and I feel like that's how you know when you're good friends with people, if you can travel with them. I think we've said that before. Yeah. Like, it was just kind of effortless, and then we were just eating good. We were laughing. Everything was effing hilarious. Like, yes. And I just love that so much. And if I could recreate that feeling and bottle it and just have it for whenever, then that would just make me so happy. And I want to do that, like, next year when we go camping and things. Yeah. And those are the kind of moments that like fly by so fast, and then we look forward to it like for so many months, and then it happens, and then
it's like, yeah, I mean, I think one of my biggest things is always having something planned to look forward to. Yeah. Because things pass by and it's like, oh my God. I even like to the point now, it happens so frequently that like while I'm in that moment, I'm like, it's going to pass by and I'm going to forget like what it was like in this moment, especially at concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say some of my highlights have been obviously the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Biased, but it was my favorite wedding I've been to. And the camping trip, the Doja Cat concert, Beyonce concert, Taylor Swift concert. I've been to a lot of like heavy bangers this year.
Yeah, it was a good year for you, music wise.
Year turning 30.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what else? God, I feel like I did a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like the mini moon after the wedding.
Oh yeah.
Meeting Greekle.
Oh, Greekle. Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
All the shreds.
I've been to a lot of drag shows.
We had a lot of yummies this year.
A lot of like good food. Yeah. Good food.
Me meeting your family.
Yeah, that was good.
That's great.
What else? I'm like flipping through my calendar. I take note of so much.
Mm-hmm.
Did I go to Pride this year?
Yeah, I think you went with Christina and Keisha. No, that was a drag show.
I went to a Pride drag show at Aura. That was good. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The weekend we went to Camden.
Oh,
with my mom. We went to the winery and the cute
baby girl
bed and
weekend.
breakfast, baby girl weekend.
I missed that.
Yeah, that was so much.
We got to bring
fun.
that back.
We gotta.
God dang, we got to bring that.
We
back.
got to run it back. We got to run it back. Book club has been a highlight of this year.
Oh my God, how could we? How did I forget?
How could we ever forget?
It'll be a year, guys.
Getting my tattoo
Ooh.
from the lovely Erin.
Yes.
What else? My new hair color.
Very eventful.
Love that.
She's redhead now.
I'm a redhead now.
She's fiery.
I'm loving it. Just spending more time with my friends in general. Friends from all over life. Mm-hmm. I've been making a lot more time for that. Really leaning into that time off too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Into like spending it on myself, family, friends, just everything with Ryan. It's all been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't sound possible, but I really do feel like 2024 is going to be even better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I feel I really like looking into this year. I was like, this is going to be my year. Like, I'm turning 30. I'm getting married. Like, I'm working somewhere where I have like energy for my life, like outside of work. And I feel like there doesn't have to be a limit on the prime of your life. Like, it's not like anyone's out here with a rule book and they're saying, you know, when you say you're in your prime, it can only last like 365 days.
You have this amount of time to technically be in your prime and get this done.
I'm going to keep peaking.
Yeah. There's no limit at all. And I feel like a big thing for me this year, it was a lot of readjustments and like getting my health and stuff in check. But hand in hand with that was a lot of like inner work, like getting my head right. My head's not completely right anyways, you know.
Is anyone's is anyone's really though?
But I feel like when I think about where my mindset was last year when we recorded around this time, I feel like I might have been, maybe I was a little more insecure about certain things. At least I feel like that's how I was feeling in that setting. I am going into next year just a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie.
Why?
Just because so far, like when it comes to wedding planning, I think I was telling one of our friends last night, they're like, yeah, how's wedding planning going? I was like, yeah, it's not.
Like, that was literally me, though, anytime I was asked. I don't know if you were ever around for that.
I don't know if I was.
But I wouldn't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. I
was
right
asked
now,
about
that's
it,
me
and
right
I got
now.
a pit in my stomach.
Yeah.
And
I feel paralyzed by it.
Yeah. Like you don't want to do anything because doing it, you have to confront how you feel about it. Which is
and you have to finish it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, period. It's just how it is. I don't know that anyone's excited to do it.
Yeah.
Everyone I have talked to about it is, well, except Jenny seems pretty positive, but
yeah.
like I have friends who got married and stuff, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about it. And I was happy to be over the hump.
Yeah.
Once I got to that point.
That's the one thing that I feel like I'm a little nervous about.
That's how I felt going into last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will get over it for sure. And there are a lot of like more fun things that we have like on the docket that will offset that. But when it comes to like, okay, so last year around December, how long will we have had been working at Scarborough? Have we been there for 2 years already?
Going on 2 years.
Going on 2 years. Okay. Yeah, because when we first met, we were like a few months in. I just remember. Yeah. That feels like it feels like so long ago.
I know, longer.
Yeah. But I think we've changed a lot especially in that regard too. And that was like a big transition from how we managed and expected, or what we expected of ourselves at our workplace. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the same bright-eyed, bushy-tailed gal who was first recording with you about all the things that like we wanted to change and make different about this place. And I think that was a growth thing for you and I. Like, we just realized how important it was to not, you gotta be strategic where you're putting your energy. And I think we've, even though it upsets some people, I think we've kind of like found that balance, and people just have to deal with it. You know what I mean? It's our well-being that's like on the line. And again, that's not to say that I'm not grateful, like where we work or anything of, you know, I think we're pretty cognizant of our situations and how I still know like how blessed I am to not be working in the hospital and be able to say that I have the opportunity to have like a balance. But I'm going into next year just really prioritizing the things that you said, like being around the people we love, doing things that are good for us, like our families, our friends, ourselves, our minds, and our hearts, and just continuing to do what we love. Do you feel like a lot has changed mindset-wise for you?
Truthfully, I think I feel like the same person.
Yeah.
I feel like the same person who has just gone through a year of life.
Yeah.
I don't think I changed in any major way. I feel like, and I said this last year too, like I'm always doing a lot of self-work and self-improvement. I think I've gained more energy. And I think some of that is due to getting through the wedding planning and through the wedding. And now like my time off is mostly my time off.
Nice.
Yeah, because a lot of my time off was like, I got to do this and that and this and that. And now it's like, okay, my time off is my time off. Like,
that sounds
I have however many days off. Like, you know, I can hang out with some friends, or I could go see family, or I could just like veg out at home. Obviously divvy up my responsibilities, but I think I always make it a priority to do the things that I get joy from. So I feel like not much has changed. If anything, right now, I think one of the things that I'm working on compared to last year, the year before, is like, I don't know why this is big to me, but my closet reboot.
Oh,
I really, you know, I said it, this is my year. And then I got through the wedding and all that. And I'm like, you know what? I just want new clothes.
Yeah.
Like, I have not really bought any new clothes for years, which is fine. But I feel like I always struggle putting an outfit together because I had a hard time matching things. And I like went through my closet, got a bunch of stuff to donate, like got it out of the house, and then started buying, like we're going to have our big shopping trip, but I started just buying a few pieces, and it has made like all the difference.
Yes. Sometimes it's just a few.
It's exciting for me.
It is.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
That is a big thing. Like, is like stepping into like clothes wise, fashion wise, your identity in that sense.
Yes. I was going to say, like, I have like found myself and know myself as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And not 100%, because I think there are still some parts of me that are a mystery to me that I'm always like, But like, I feel like I know myself well. And I've done, a lot of work with that. And I'm kind of locked into that. But now it's like my identity, like through clothing.
Yes.
Like, finding what works for me and what I like to wear. Because I feel like before it was a lot of just what's comfortable. And what did I see in the store that was cute?
Yeah.
But I can't necessarily like match with a lot of other articles of clothing.
Yes.
So, yeah, I feel like I'm starting to delve into that.
Yeah, we're going to go ham.
Excited.
It's going to be so exciting. And just having like your identity like match the clothes that you're deciding to put on. And I'm excited for that too. I've did a little bit of a clothing clean out as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it again right before we go and just have and donate what I want to. I was like a little bit of I was a wannabe capsule wardrobe girly, but I feel like when I see capsule wardrobe, it makes me think like minimalist.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm a minimalist at all.
Yeah,
like,
not my thing.
Because I want to be able to look at a cute blouse or a top or a button up and I'll be like, oh, that's freaking cute. I want that.
Yeah.
I feel like my mind won't go through the grief of like, oh, but do I need that? Do I have one?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have that in my mind. I feel like, and if I'm minimalist, I would like counter myself internally a lot. But like, if I really want something, I'm going to get it. So if I want it, so I'm going to go get it. That's like my theme.
I want it. I got it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting more clothing. I got some basics.
You did, yeah.
Right now, and
the one yesterday too, right? Was your top a new one? That green one you wore?
No, that's pajamas.
That's the top?
Yeah, that was all pajamas. What I was wearing.
Oh wait, no. I meant on Friday. On Friday. Yeah.
The brown button up.
Yeah, that one was new. Cute. Yeah, I liked that.
And the jeans.
The jeans were new too?
The jeans are new, yeah.
Oh.
I got
lots. That was cute.
Yeah. And I'm really enjoying it because now I'm like, I'm wearing it. And I'm like, okay, because like secretly, when I would open my closet to like go out to dinner or go to a book club meeting, go anywhere, period. Even a therapy. I'm putting an outfit together. I'm like, God.
Is it exhausting?
Yeah.
Or like, and I was like taxing?
I feel like a lot of these articles of clothing are like older. That maybe like didn't really fit me like physically. Or just the whole like style of it.
Yeah.
The look of it was not it. And I was like, oh, I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate this, but I'm going to keep doing it.
It's hard because, you've had it for so long. And
then I was like, I had a revelation. And that revelation was on Black Friday. Weekend.
Yeah.
Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that whole thing.
Yeah.
It was like Thanksgiving Day. I was like, you know what? I don't care.
I'm going to go shopping.
I'm doing this. Okay, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of opening the closet and like groaning. I'm sick of opening the closet and just wanting to look away. It sounds so dramatic, guys. It really does. But truly, I was not having a good time.
Yeah, it's time.
There's a lot of cozies, you know. I'm okay. I like to wear cozy stuff.
Yeah.
And I had some cute stuff for going out. I had some nice stuff, but I had no in-betweens.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah.
And so it was like hard to like dress to go out, but not like out.
Yeah.
Just, like,
just like a hang.
Yeah. Out socially. Just to go to someone's place or book club, whatever. Like, I don't want to dress fancy, but I don't want to dress
like a bum.
Yeah. And here I am. I have nothing in between. Very few things in between. And
we're about to get that in between, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've been softly getting in there, and it's been working.
I enjoy it.
I'm enjoying it.
And that's the thing too, like with us about like prior, I feel like that's self-care. We're taking care of ourselves. Like,
because it makes you feel good about it.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And when I feel like I put together a nice outfit, it makes me like is it serotonin or dopamine? But I feel happier.
Yeah.
It makes like when I feel like I am dressed nice, it makes me want to like put at least like a cute layer of makeup on. And then I feel just my day is like set. I'm ready to get stuff done. Like it does something to you like internally that like just lifts you up a little bit.
Like part of my realization too was when I pack to go visit my grandparents or my parents, here's what I'm throwing in the bag.
Give it to me.
I got like 3 sweatshirts in there. 4 sweatshirts. And then I match the sweatshirts to like colors of leggings. Like, you know, athleisure. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you bring all this down to grandma's, and then she's like, hey, let's go to this lovely seafood restaurant. And so you were not expecting this, and you packed 1 pair of shoes and their magenta galoshes with gray sweatpants and a burgundy sweatshirt and a bright orange, like hunting orange skull cap. And you wear all that and you go out to eat at a seafood restaurant in downtown New Bedford.
Oh my
God.
The
Whaling District. You know, in the past.
It's called
obviously
fashion.
And I looked like I brought the restaurant their catch of the day. I looked like a Portuguese fisherwoman. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, but there's a time and a place. It was not the time or the place. And I was like, I really gotta go get this clothes. Like I was not prepared for this moment.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like just a day of like, I'm excited to see like what our staples look like. I'd say like I think my wardrobe is a little bit disjointed. I went through a phase where I was the same way. Like I wasn't actually, isn't just a phase. Ever since I started working out more, all I wear is athleisure.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you've seen, I wear a lot of athleisure too. Yeah.
Like just like a long sleeve and some leggings, a sweater and some leggings. And, I go through phases because some of the people that I follow, I'm like, I'll look at their profiles, like, oh, what a cute outfit, like so put together. And I want to be that. I want to be like, I want to feel like my outfits match how I feel like inside.
It is a self-care thing.
It is. It's an
self-care
identity thing. Yeah. And hopefully we could find some good finds going to Boston. I think we will.
Oh, yeah.
And that goes into us too, like, when shopping, like we're making it like a girls trip. I like how, you know, we actually talked about this before, but you know how I just said that, you know, you're friends with a person or like a couple, or that you're good friends with people if you can travel with them or like spend overnight with them.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said about girls you can go shopping with too.
That's true. That's true, because it is like when we're talking about camping, you want people, just for me, period, if I'm choosing to spend my free time, aka time I'm not getting paid for, like I'm taking time out of my day to spend with you, not you, but the general you, like it is like an unspoken rule for myself that it needs to be someone that I'm comfortable with. Not to say that I'm not comfortable around people, but like you got to be a girl's girl. You've got to be good people.
You got to be good people.
You've got to be good people. Like, yeah, I agree. Like I'm not. I've reached a point in my life where I'm not a people pleaser anymore.
I think you that either changed like about me.
Yeah, you either like me or you don't.
Yeah.
That's fine. Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to my free time, I'm only spending it around people who like have a positive effect on my life.
Very selective these days.
I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think people
Yeah.
You know, I learned from that.
Yeah. And I was just about to say, I think that I've changed from last year. I think that my people pleasiness has kind of...
It's gotten better.
It's gotten better.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a little tested more in the next year.
Well,
just because of wedding stuff.
Planning. Mm-hmm.
So we'll see exactly how much it improved from there.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's such a concept that no one talks about.
Yeah.
Like, especially when it comes to women. Women friendships, there's like levels to that shiz.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've met girls before that I can go out on a wild Saturday night with, but you're not sleeping over at my place. You're not waking up, or I'm not going shopping with you, for the closer example. Or I can like go, out with friends with a bunch of girls, but like we're not going to have a sleepover. Yeah. And I wouldn't go to you for advice about
interesting
certain things. I guess it's just like there's like the internal, I wouldn't call it sizing up. As an adult, things are a little bit different. Like, you're not really, I feel like I can't say right now in this phase of my life I'm surrounded by any gals where I feel like it's a competition. Mm-hmm. And that feels great, because when I first started,
I'm gonna say it was that way. Like,
it
I
was
feel like Florida.
In Florida after college, or in college and post college, like post grad, like a bunch of new grads around you. Yeah. Like, you're trying to see who's the best worker, like who looks good while working. Like, it was a lot of the image of like being a nurse and all that. That was really important. But I feel like the determinator now in like female friendships, especially as an adult, is like the level of comfort that you can feel with someone in many different aspects, but also like the level of support is the indicator too of like if you're a girl's girl or not. And support doesn't always mean like you make a decision and like you always support it, you know what I mean?
Right.
If you feel like someone's doing something wrong, like if you're really down for that person, you'll be upfront and honest with them and tell them your real opinion instead of just being like, oh, I completely agree with you. Keep doing that thing.
Right. You don't want to be a yes man.
Yeah. And that's a realization, a late adult girl friendship realization for me. Because not everyone is always on your side. And there will be people like telling you to do something. Like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's kind of going into our natural selection process too, is whittling out. I will say in this past year, ever since last recording, there have been some people who I've like selectively distanced myself from. And again, it's all love. It's not like I don't feel like, I hope that they don't feel like trite about it. I don't hold any resentment or anything towards certain people. I think it's just a maturity thing and really like being protective of like you said, how you want to spend your time and who deserves that time,
right? That
unpaid time that you're getting.
Because it is energy.
It is.
It's energy. And sometimes we don't have a lot of that to go
No.
Period. I think I'm selective too. And I'm really happy to say, like, I'm proud to say that a lot of like my friends that I surround myself with are good people. Like, for the wedding, I was excited for my friends from different walks of life to mingle, because I feel like overall, like, everyone's good.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about someone like acting weird about, Like, I know, and even Taylor, like my sister, when she met everyone, she's like, my God, like, where did you find such nice friends? Like, like, I don't know. I feel like there's people I really vibe with that are good people. Yeah. And that's
what I want to be around.
Yeah. I feel like that's also highly special for us too, just because we aren't where we grew up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it makes, not to say it's high stakes, but like it really kind of stresses the importance for us to really find people who we like. We internally probably vetted each other pretty hard to be like, oh, okay, I want to be really close friends with this person. I know you did that to me.
Are you saying that was one-sided?
I did too. But yes, it's different being like a transplant, and then that's probably something. But for both of us, like a year from back then, like I think our circle has like really locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say I'm pretty locked in. Pretty locked in. Yeah,
absolutely, Mr. President. I can say that I am fully locked in right now.
I mean, my thing is like, what's different with, I mean, everyone's different. I feel like I don't have a lot of casual friends. I don't. I'm the type of person that like when I make a friendship, it's like we're close friends. Like we are good friends. And then sometimes I have like a casual friend, not a lot of those. It's mostly like my circle's small, but we're tight.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I could count on one hand who I'd consider a casual friend.
Yeah. I have a couple that like, we're in and out of touch a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I feel like most of my friends, it's like, I love them hard. Mm-hmm. Like those are my friends. Like, those are my best friends. Yeah. Not a lot of casual.
Yeah. And I think that's a growing thing too, just a getting older thing. Cause like, I mean, there's different perspectives you can look at it, but when you're settled and when you're locked into a place, then after that, it's like those that withstand the test of time and continue to like show up for you and be there. That's how you know. Even if they aren't in your immediate vicinity, if they continue to, however they can, like show up and make time for you and everything like that, that's also a different like aspect of that. But it's been a good year. I think ultimately it has.
It's been a really good year. I'm excited for next year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm excited too.
I'm excited that, there's hangouts to be had.
Mm-hmm. Yummies to be eaten.
And music to be listened to.
Music,
just think about this. This is my favorite things to think about. Music that hasn't been released yet or hasn't been made. Books that haven't been written or released yet. Films, restaurants that haven't been tried. It's the potential.
Dang.
That draws me in.
She likes
year.
The build up.
It's the potential. It's the unknown.
Yeah.
Games that haven't been released yet. I mean, come on. The possibilities are endless.
That's a very positive outlook.
That's what I look at. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what's going to come next year that we don't know about?
And all the time you've got now, too. I mean, like without having a wedding in the back of your head.
Yeah.
That's a nice little sensation.
It is
Places to explore,
Yeah. It's a little weird. Because I feel like I had this one big thing that I was looking to, and now that it's done, it's like, wow, what do I do? So I'm excited to just live life.
I can't wait to get there.
Frolic about life.
Remind me later. I got to be good, and I got to write down all the books we mentioned this time around. When I listen to the draft, I'm going to write down all the books that were mentioned. Okay?
All right.
You have any last words?
No. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone. Holidays
and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, I don't think we'll be back for a New Year's episode, but again, just let us know what your Spotify Wrapped consisted of. What were your best and worst books? And
what beverage were you?
What?
Being a beverage goblin.
Yeah. And what's 2024 looking like for you guys? Hope it's happy.
And healthy.
Happy, healthy, and just freaking full of joy and absolute delight.
Love it.
Love it. Good night, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.